If you are exhausted and ready to give up, do not skip this message.
My beloved child, something extraordinary is about to be revealed to you. Not a small thing, not a minor adjustment to the edges of your life. What is coming for you is a complete, breathtaking, full-circle arrival at a place you have been walking toward for longer than you realize. The reason you are hearing these words right now, the reason this moment is happening at all, is that the one who walks ahead of you on every road has been preparing this territory for a long time. And now the time has come to tell you what lies ahead, my sheltered one, before the destination. Let me speak about the one who walks beside you, because everything else that follows flows from understanding who is beside you. Not distant, not observing from some removed and comfortable place beside you. Close enough to hear your breathing change, close enough to notice when your steps slow down, and when the weight you are carrying begins to show in the way you hold your shoulders. Close enough to know the exact moment when you need reassurance, and when you need strength, and when you need simply to be told that you have not been forgotten. That is who walks with you. That is who has been with you on every road. The role of one who truly cares for another is not passive. A good guide does not set up camp in a comfortable meadow and wait for those in their care to figure out where the good grass is. A guide who loves well goes out first. He walks the territory before his people arrive, looking for the places where the water runs clean, and the ground is safe, and the nourishment is thick and real. He identifies where the path grows too dangerous and finds the way around. He memorizes the landscape so that when those he loves are moving through unfamiliar territory, he can guide them with confidence, with authority, with the specific knowledge of someone who has already been there. That is what has been happening in your life long before you arrived at this present moment. The one who loves you was already here, long before the current challenge you are facing became the challenge you are facing. The solution was already being prepared. Long before you felt the weight of the need pressing down on you, the provision was already in motion. You arrive at each new stretch of your journey to find that things have been made ready for you. Not because of anything you engineered, not because of your perfect planning or your strategic wisdom or your ability to see around corners. The preparation was already underway before you knew it was needed. This is the foundation of everything. When you feel lost, the one who loves you already knows the way. When you feel unsupplied, the provision has already been identified. When you feel afraid of what lies ahead, the ground ahead has already been walked, and what is there is already known. You are never going somewhere the love that covers you has not already been. Now let the weight of that settle into you. Let it change the way you are breathing right now. Because fear cannot coexist with that truth. Not the kind of fear that paralyzes. Not the kind that makes you want to turn around and go back to what is familiar, even though what is familiar was keeping you small. When you truly understand that what covers you has gone ahead, fear loses its hold. You still feel the normal human uncertainty that comes with moving into unknown territory. But underneath that uncertainty is a foundation that does not shake. The road ahead of you has already been walked by the one who loves you completely, and he is guiding you exactly where you need to go. Every tear that has fallen from your eyes on this journey was counted. Every single one. Not as an observer who noted the data and filed it away somewhere, but as someone who was moved by each one, who felt each one, who held space for the pain that produced each one. The sleepless stretches when the worries that are easy to manage during daylight hours grow large and heavy in the quiet, those were not hidden from the one who watches over you. The long, dark hours were known. His voice was the one that eventually spoke peace into the storm of your thoughts and brought you back from the edge of despair to a place where you could breathe again and remember that the light would return. The battles you have fought without anyone else knowing you were fighting them, those quiet internal wars against doubt and disappointment and the fear that things would never change. Every one of those battles was witnessed. The courage it took to keep going when giving up would have been so much easier, was noticed. The faith you exercised in moments when faith was incredibly difficult to hold on to was seen. The prayers you prayed even when you were not sure they were being heard, every one of those prayers arrived. Not one was lost in transit. Not one bounced off some ceiling and fell back to the ground unanswered. Every prayer has been working in the unseen territory of your life, producing things that will soon become visible in your circumstances. The history of your walk with the one who loves you is a history of faithfulness. His faithfulness. Look back over the road you have already traveled and look honestly at it, including the difficult parts, including the seasons you would rather forget, including the times you wandered away from the path and found yourself in territory that was not meant for you. Even in those seasons, even in those wandering places, the love that covers you did not stop looking for you. He did not sit down and wait for you to find your own way back. He came after you. He left everything to find you and bring you back. That is the kind of care you have. That is the kind of love that has been following you all the days of your life. So when you look at the road ahead and the uncertainty rises, let this history be your answer to it. He has never let you go before. He has never lost track of you before. He has never failed to provide for you. Even in the seasons when the provision came in ways you did not expect, or at times you did not plan for, the track record behind you is perfect, and a guide with a perfect track record is worthy of a trust that does not waver when the road gets hard. Now let your attention turn forward to what is coming, to the green places and the still waters that you are being led toward, to the provision that has already been prepared and is making its way toward you even as you hear these words. The plan for your life is not a plan of barely enough. This is important to hear because there are voices in your world, internal and external, that have been telling you to expect less, to want less, to quiet down the hopes that feel too large for someone like you to legitimately hold. Those voices are not from the one who loves you. The God who owns the cattle on 1,000 hills does not provide in the manner of a reluctant employer who gives out the minimum required to keep the workforce satisfied. When He provides in the manner of a father who delights in blessing his children. The provision that is being prepared for your journey ahead is generous. It is the kind of provision that addresses not only what you asked for, but also what you forgot to ask for. The practical things, the financial weight that has been pressing down on your household, the needs that have felt urgent and pressing and sometimes embarrassing in their complexity. All of them are seen, and the provision coming toward you is calibrated to exactly what is needed, plus an overflow that will surprise you. You will receive what you asked for, and then look around and find that something else you had quietly given up hoping for has also been addressed. That is the nature of how God provides. Not only the answered prayer you prayed, also the longing you stopped voicing because it felt too much to hope for. Your household, the ones who eat at your table and share your roof and carry the same daily concerns that you carry, they are covered in this provision too. Not separately from you, together with you. The blessing coming to you carries capacity to flow outward to the ones connected to you. What arrives for you is not only for your individual relief. It is a blessing with width, with reach, with the ability to touch every person who is woven into the fabric of your life. The family members who have been struggling, the ones whose struggles you carry in your heart, even when you cannot fix their problems, they are seen too. The prayers you have lifted on their behalf have been collected and held, and are even now being answered in ways that will unfold over the coming stretch of your journey. What you could not do for them with your own hands, or your own resources, or your own wisdom, God is doing. Trust Him with the people you love. They are in His hands just as surely as you are. Now consider what it means to have a guide who plans for the journey and not just for the resting places. A guide who is only interested in getting his people to comfortable spots would never be able to navigate the terrain that lies between those comfortable spots. The fact that God provides in the green meadows is wonderful, but equally reassuring is that God is faithful in the passages between the meadows, the in-between stretches, the places where the ground is dry and the path is narrow, and the destination still feels far away. He knows those stretches too. He does not leave when the landscape gets rough. He is in fact most actively present in the rough stretches, the most intentional in his guiding. This means that the difficult season you may be navigating right now is not a sign that heaven has lost interest in your welfare. It means you are in one of the in-between passages, and the one who loves you is right here working, guiding, protecting, providing, even when the provision is not yet visible. The path is about to open up, but even before it opens, you are not alone in it. The still waters that you are being led beside are worth speaking about at length, because the concept of still waters is not just about external peace, not just about the circumstances of your life becoming calm and ordered and easy. Still waters represent something that happens inside you before it happens around you. The peace that God gives is an internal reality first. It is the settled quality in your soul that holds firm even when the external landscape is chaotic. It is the ability to breathe deeply even when everything around you is urging you to panic. It is the quiet knowing that you are held, that you are guided, that you are provided for even in the middle of a situation that does not yet look like it is resolving. This internal peace is something the world cannot give and cannot take away. Circumstances can create a kind of surface-level calm when things are going well, but the peace that comes from God goes all the way down to the foundation of who you are. It does not depend on how well things are going. It depends on who is walking with you, and God never changes, which means the peace He gives never has to be revoked. Let that peace come into you now. Let it go all the way down to the places inside you that are still tense, still braced for impact, still waiting for the next hard thing to land. Let it reach those places. You do not have to manufacture it. You do not have to pretend that everything is fine when it is not. You just have to let the one who is with you bring what only He can bring. And He is bringing it right now in this moment, as these words land in the soil of your heart. The restoration that is part of your journey ahead is worth naming specifically because restoration is not just the replacement of what was lost. Restoration in the hands of God is something far better than returning to where you were before the loss. Restoration is the arrival at a place that is better than the place you left. He does not put things back the way they were simply because that was better than where things are now. God restores towards something greater than what existed before. What was broken in your life, what was taken, what was lost through difficulty or through your own mistakes, or through the unfaithfulness of other people. He can restore all of it, and restore it into something that carries more beauty, more depth, more purpose than the original. This is one of the most stunning things about walking with God. The broken places in your history are not dead ends in His hands. They are materials He works with. He takes the broken pieces and makes something that could not have been made from unbroken pieces. The depth of compassion you carry for other people who are suffering. Where did it come from? It came from your own suffering. The ability to sit with someone in their pain without trying to rush them through it. Where did that come from? It came from the season when someone sat with you in yours. The wisdom that makes you trustworthy in difficult situations. Where did that come from? It came from living through difficult situations and having God walk you through them. The broken places were not wasted. They were producing in you exactly the qualities that make you who you are and who you are becoming, and who you will be when the restoration arrives in its fullness. Nothing is wasted in the economy of God. Not one tear, not one struggle, not one season of waiting, not one night of crying out in the dark. All of it has been producing something. All of it has been working toward the life that is coming. There is a deep and powerful truth about the way God works in the lives of those He loves, and it is this: He never operates in a way that leaves any part of your story unused. Every detail of your history, every plot twist you did not choose, every chapter you wished had ended differently, God weaves all of it together into a tapestry that tells a story of faithfulness so beautiful. One day, when you can see the whole thing from a greater perspective, you will be moved to tears, not by the pain that went into it, but by the artistry with which the pain was transformed into something that brings light into the world. Some of you, reading and hearing these words, have been walking a road of faithfulness that has stretched across years and decades. A road that has had long stretches of apparent silence. Stretches where you cried out and heard nothing obvious in return. Where you waited and the waiting seemed endless. Where you trusted and the tangible evidence of that trust being honored was slow to arrive. Those long stretches were not abandonments. They were not evidence of a God who had turned away from you, or who had decided that your need was not important enough to address. Those long stretches were the deep planting seasons, the seasons when roots were going down into soil that you could not see, the seasons when the invisible work of transformation was happening in you at a depth that no circumstance could have produced quickly. A seed does not sprout overnight. The time between the planting and the breaking through the surface is often the longest part of the process, and it is also the least visible, the least dramatic, the least satisfying to observe from the outside. But it is not the least important. In fact, the underground season is in many ways the most critical season of all, because what happens in the dark determines the quality and the capacity of what eventually comes up into the light. A root system that has had time to go deep and establish itself is capable of holding up a tree that can survive storms, that can produce fruit season after season, that can provide shade and shelter for the people around it. A root system that was rushed, that came up too quickly and never had the chance to go deep, produces something fragile, something that looks promising at first, but has nothing underneath it to sustain it through the inevitable challenges of life. Your root system has been developing all this time, all through the seasons that felt like delay, all through the stretches of road that felt dry and unproductive. The roots were going down. The capacity you are going to need for everything that is coming was being built in you during the very seasons you wanted most to rush past. Do not look back at those seasons with regret. Look back at them with a new understanding of what they were accomplishing in you. They were not wasted. They were necessary. And the life that is coming is going to make everything that the waiting produced in you absolutely essential. Let me speak for a moment about trust, because trust is the currency of the journey you are on. Not trust as a performance, not the kind of trust that is performed for an audience and collapses the moment no one is watching. Real trust, the kind that holds in the dark, the kind that does not require constant visible evidence to sustain itself. The kind that says, even when I cannot see, even when the circumstances are not confirming what I believe, even when the delay has stretched past the point of what felt endurable, I am choosing to hold on to what I know about the one who loves me. That kind of trust is not easy to develop. It cannot be downloaded or acquired through a moment of emotional inspiration. It is built through exactly the kind of journey you have been on, through seasons of testing that revealed where the trust was real and where it was surface level, through moments when every natural instinct said to give up, but something deeper said to keep going, through the long nights and the unanswered questions and the times of wrestling with God and arriving on the other side of the wrestling, still holding on to Him. Your trust has been built. It may not feel that way to you. You may feel like trust is still something you are reaching for, still something you are working to develop. But look at the fact that you are still here. Look at the fact that you are still seeking, still listening, still reaching toward the one who loves you even after everything your journey has included. That persistence is trust. That refusal to completely let go even in the hardest seasons is trust. And God honors it. He honors the trust that holds when everything says to let go far more than He honors the trust that is easy when everything is going well. The provision that is coming toward you has been attracted in part by the trust you have maintained through the difficulty. Not because trust is a mechanism for earning from God, not because you have performed some kind of spiritual work that now obligates Him to respond, but because trust is the posture that opens you to receive what God wants to give. A closed fist cannot receive what an open hand can. A heart that has shut down in bitterness or disillusionment has constricted itself in ways that make it harder for the blessing to land. But a heart that has remained open, that has stayed soft even when it had every reason to harden, that has continued to reach upward even in the seasons of apparent silence, that heart is positioned exactly right to receive what is coming. Your heart has remained open, even when it was difficult, even when it was painful, even when the cost of staying open felt higher than you thought you could pay. You stayed open. And now the harvest of that openness is approaching. Let your mind settle on the concept of green pastures for a moment, because there is more in that image than it might first appear. Green pastures are not just pleasant places. They are places of full, complete, sufficient nourishment. When a flock reaches green pasture, every need is met in that place. There is enough for each one. There is no competition for resources, no scarcity that forces some to go without so others can have enough. The pasture is sufficient for the whole flock. That is the kind of provision that is being prepared for your life. Sufficient, complete, enough, and then more than enough. Enough for you and enough to share. Enough to address what is pressing right now, and enough to carry you into what comes next. The image of still waters is equally rich. Still waters are waters that are safe to drink from, waters that are clean and calm enough to provide genuine nourishment. In the ancient world, a shepherd who led his flock to still waters was giving them something life-sustaining, something that would allow them to continue the journey, something that refreshed them at the deepest level of what they needed to keep going. That is what God is leading you to right now, not just a surface experience of feeling slightly better for a moment before the familiar weight returns. A genuine, deep, soul-level refreshment that addresses what is truly depleted in you and restores it to fullness. Where are you most depleted right now? What part of you is running lowest, needing most urgently to be replenished? Name it. Bring it. Hold it up to the one who is leading you to still waters, and let him direct the refreshment exactly to that depleted place. He knows where it is. He has known for a long time, and his provision is precise enough to address it specifically, not generally. He is not offering you a vague sense of spiritual wellness that leaves the specific depletion unaddressed. He is offering you the exact restoration that corresponds to the exact need. That is who he is. That is the quality of his care for the lives of those he loves. Now let us speak about something that is often overlooked in conversations about provision and blessing, and that is the dimension of time. God's provision does not always arrive on the schedule that feels most urgent to us. Sometimes, from our perspective on the ground, the provision seems late. It seems like it should have come sooner, like the need was pressing, and the timing of the response felt misaligned. Those moments of apparent misalignment are among the hardest moments on the journey, because they can feed the lie that God is not paying attention, that he forgot, that maybe the situation was not important enough to merit timely attention. But here is what is true about the timing of God's provision. He sees the whole road. He sees the provision, and he sees the moment on the road where receiving it will have the greatest impact. The moment where it will not only address the immediate need, but also set up the next several stages of the journey in the best possible way. From his perspective, the timing that looks late from where you are standing is not late at all. It is exactly right for what is needed to happen on the larger scale of your story. The provision will arrive at the moment when it can do the most complete, comprehensive good in your life. And that moment is closer than you think. There is also the matter of the journey itself, of what happens between the resting places, between the green meadows and the still waters. The road is not just a means to an end. The road is where formation happens. The road is where character is built, where faith is deepened, where the qualities that make you capable of stewarding what God is bringing are developed in you. The road teaches you things that the resting places cannot teach you. The road reveals to you things about yourself and about God that you would never discover if every part of your life were comfortable and predictable. This is not to say that God designs hardship for its own sake. That difficulty is something he inflicts on those he loves as a matter of spiritual discipline. The hardships you have encountered on your road have many sources. Some of them are simply the nature of a world that is not yet as it will one day be. But in every hardship, God has been present and working. He has been extracting from each difficult experience exactly what it holds that is useful for your formation and your future. And He has been covering you through it, protecting you within it, ensuring that the hardship does not destroy what He has been building. You are stronger than you were when this journey began, more patient, more compassionate, more able to sit with uncertainty without being undone by it, more aware of your own limitations, and more willing to lean on a strength that is not your own, more experienced in the faithfulness of God because you have seen it show up in ways you did not expect, at times you did not plan for, in forms you would not have asked for, but that turned out to be exactly right. That accumulated experience of faithfulness is one of the most valuable things you carry. It is the foundation of the trust that has allowed you to keep going, and it is the foundation on which you are building the next chapter of your story. What does the next chapter look like? Here is what can be said about it with certainty. It is better than what came before. Not in the sense that every circumstance will be easy or comfortable, or exactly what you would design if you were designing your own life, but better in the deep and lasting sense. The sense of more aligned with who God made you to be, more full of meaning and purpose and genuine connection, more characterized by the kind of fruitfulness that comes not from straining, but from being in the right place at the right time, doing the right things with the right resources. You are moving toward greater alignment. That is the trajectory of your journey. God has been guiding you toward a life that is increasingly aligned with the person He created you to be, the person He has been patiently and persistently shaping through every experience, every season, every challenge and triumph, and disappointment and breakthrough. The alignment is increasing, and as it increases, so does the sense of rightness, the sense of being exactly where you are supposed to be, doing exactly what you are made to do. The sense that your life is fitting together in a way that makes sense and has beauty and is going somewhere worth going. Trust the alignment process. Even the parts of it that feel like misalignment right now, that feel like being in the wrong place or the wrong season or the wrong circumstances, they are part of the movement toward greater alignment, not away from it. Sometimes alignment requires passing through a period of apparent misalignment in order to arrive at the right position. The caterpillar that is in the process of becoming a butterfly does not look from the outside like it is becoming something beautiful. It looks like it is dissolving. But the dissolution is part of the transformation, and what comes out on the other side is something completely different and far more capable than what went in. Your transformation is underway. The season you are in, with all its complexities and challenges and moments of uncertainty, is part of what you are becoming. And what you are becoming is something worthy of the provision and the blessing that God is bringing toward you. Not because you have earned it, not because you have performed perfectly or believed without wavering, but because the transformation that has been happening in you has been aligning you with the receiving of what was always meant for you. You are becoming the version of yourself that can hold what God is preparing to pour out. Let this truth reach the places in you that have been quietly afraid that the blessing would arrive and you would somehow not be ready for it, not be capable of receiving it and stewarding it well. That fear is understandable, but it is not based on an accurate picture of what has been happening in your life. You have been in preparation. The preparation has been thorough and real. You are not the same person you were at the beginning of this journey, and the person you are now is more ready than you realize to receive what is coming. Every new thing that comes into your life requires a version of you that has been prepared to receive it, and God is faithful to complete the preparation before the arrival. He does not send what you are not ready for without also preparing you to receive it. The readiness and the provision come together. Trust that what is coming has been timed to coincide with the preparation that has been happening in you. They belong together and they will arrive together. Hold your hands open and your heart ready. Let your heart open even wider. Now position yourself to receive what is falling from heaven over your life. The blessing that is on its way to you is not a small tentative thing that might arrive if conditions are perfect. It is a decided, settled, already in motion reality. God decided to bless you before you were born. That decision has not changed. Not when you fell short of the person you wanted to be. Not when you made choices that took you off course. Not when you wrestled with doubt and lost temporarily in the wrestling. The decision to bless you was made by someone who knew exactly who you were going to be, every version of you, and chose to bless you anyway. That decision stands today. It will stand tomorrow. It will stand in every season and every circumstance and every stretch of road that still lies ahead of you. The blessing is coming in layers. Some of it you can already feel arriving, even if you cannot quite name what it is. A subtle shift in the atmosphere around you. A sense that something is changing, a hope that has been quietly growing, even when you tried to be careful and not hope too much. That is the edge of it arriving. The fullness is still coming, and it is going to be more than you have room to receive without being expanded to hold it. Let God expand you to hold what He is bringing. Now let us speak about what it means to truly walk in the provision that God has prepared for those He loves. Walking in provision is not the same as sitting down and waiting for things to fall from the sky. Walking in provision is an act of cooperation between what God is doing and what you choose to do. You bring your willingness. You bring your faithfulness in the ordinary moments. You bring your attention to the people around you and the needs that cross your path. You bring your prayers, your trust, your decision to keep moving forward, even when you cannot see very far ahead. And God brings everything else. He brings the resources. He brings the timing. He brings the unexpected connection that opens the door you were sure was permanently closed. He brings the strength you need to take the next step when your own strength runs thin. This cooperation is beautiful. It is not a transaction. It is a relationship. Two parties moving together, each doing what they are able to do, each trusting the other to do what they cannot do alone. You cannot manufacture provision out of thin air, but you can position yourself with expectation and faithfulness. God can move heaven and earth, but He moves it in ways that flow through the life of someone who is walking with Him. Walk with Him. Bring all of you to this walk, and watch what happens in the territory ahead. The specific provision that is coming toward your household in this season deserves to be spoken about directly. You have had financial pressure, not the kind that is abstract or theoretical, but the kind that sits on your chest when you are trying to plan, and the numbers do not work the way they need to. That kind of pressure is real, and God does not minimize it or dismiss it as unimportant. He sees the practical reality of what you are facing. He knows the specific numbers. He knows the specific needs. He knows the specific deadlines. And His provision is not general. It is targeted. It is coming for the specific pressure points in your life. And when it arrives, you will know that it was sent by someone who knew exactly what you needed and exactly when you needed it. Before we continue to the next part of this message, take a deep breath. If these words are bringing peace to your soul today, I want to gently invite you to become a part of our family. Walking this journey alone can feel heavy, but together we find strength. Please take a moment right now to subscribe to the channel and like this video. Your support helps this message reach others who desperately need to hear that God's provision is coming for them too. Turn on your notifications so you never miss a word of encouragement. The health of your body matters too. The physical tiredness that has accumulated from carrying so much for so long, from pushing yourself to keep going when everything in you wanted to rest, God sees it. Restoration of energy, of strength, of the physical capacity to live fully and well, that is part of what is coming toward you. You were not made to run on empty indefinitely. You were made to be replenished. God designed your body to be renewed. And the renewal that is coming is not just enough to get you through another hard season. It is genuine restoration, the kind that makes you feel like yourself again. The emotional weight that comes from caring deeply about people you cannot fix. From watching those you love struggle and not being able to solve their problems with your own hands. That weight is one of the heaviest things a person can carry. God knows you carry it. He is taking it from you. Not by making you stop caring, because caring is one of the most beautiful things about who you are, but by letting you shift the weight from your shoulders to His. You were never designed to carry what only God can carry. The people you love are in His hands. They were in His hands before they were in yours. Let Him carry what belongs to Him, and let yourself carry what belongs to you, which is faithfulness, prayer, love, and trust. Those things you can carry. The outcome belongs to Him. The relational dimension of your life is also part of what God is tending with great care. Relationships that have been strained, that carry the residue of misunderstanding, or hurt, or unforgiveness, God is working in those places even now. Some of them are going to be restored in ways that will surprise you, that will feel like something that should not have been possible. Other connections in your life are going to be released, not as punishment, but as preparation for the new relationships that are coming, the ones that are aligned with who you are becoming and where you are going. Trust the process of what is happening in your relational world. God knows which connections to restore and which to redirect. His wisdom in this is perfect. There are doors ahead of you on this journey that you have not seen yet. Doors that are currently closed, that look from the outside like obstacles or delays, but that are going to open at exactly the right moment. And when they open, you are going to walk through them with the confidence of someone who has been prepared for exactly this. Because the preparation is what the waiting has been doing. Every season that felt too long was building in you the capacity to steward what is about to come through those open doors. Do not despise the waiting. The waiting has been working. The courage that is rising in you even now, even as you hear these words, is real. It is not imagined. It is not the artificial confidence that comes from trying hard to feel better. It is something deeper. Something that comes from an encounter with the truth about who loves you and what that love has already prepared for your life. Hold on to this courage. It is going to be needed in the days ahead. Not because hard things are coming, but because good things require courage too. Walking through an open door takes courage. Receiving what God has prepared when you feel like you have not done enough to deserve it takes courage. Letting the blessing expand your life beyond what you were comfortable with before takes courage. Be courageous, my sheltered one. Be courageous in the receiving, in the walking forward, in the allowing of your life to become more than it has been. God is expanding your capacity, your reach, your impact, your provision, and all of it requires you to be willing to become more than you have been before. Let us go deeper for a moment into what it truly means to receive from God. Because receiving is not as passive as it might sound. Receiving in the spiritual sense is an active posture. It requires you to be positioned rightly. It requires your heart to be turned toward the source. It requires your expectations to be aligned with what God has said is possible, rather than with what your past experiences or your present circumstances are suggesting is likely. It requires a willingness to let what is coming change you, not just change your circumstances. Genuine reception is transformative. You do not receive from God and remain the same. The encounter changes you. The provision changes you. The restoration changes you. You become someone who has been touched by the generosity of heaven. And that touch leaves a mark. The mark it leaves is not something visible from the outside, not immediately. But those who spend time with you, who know you well enough to notice the subtle things, they will see it. There will be a quality in your eyes that was not there before. A settled stillness underneath the normal activity of your life. A resilience that doesn't need to announce itself. A generosity that flows from someone who has received generously and wants to pass the overflow to others. Some of them are going to have their faith rekindled by watching what happens in your life. Your testimony is not just your story. It is also a light that shines into the darkness of others' uncertainty and says, "Look, Look what the faithfulness of God produces. Look what holding on leads to. Look what trusting through the hard seasons brings on the other side. Live your story with that awareness, not with pride, not with the self-conscious performance of someone who knows they are on a stage, but with the natural, humble awareness that every life lived in genuine faith becomes a testimony. And every testimony carries the power to change another life. What you are walking through, what you are walking toward, what God is doing in and through and around your life right now, it is bigger than you. It is being woven into something that has implications beyond what you can see from where you are standing. Let that expand your sense of purpose, even as God expands your provision. The community of people who have walked before you on this road, those who chose trust over fear, and faithfulness over giving up, and hope over despair, even when the circumstances were as hard as anything you have faced. They are a great company. Their stories have been preserved not to make you feel inadequate by comparison, but to give you a picture of what holding on produces. Every story in that company has its long stretches, its seasons of difficulty, its moments when the outcome was anything but clear. And every story in that company also has its turning point, the moment when the faithfulness of God became undeniably, visibly, tangibly real. Your story has a turning point coming. The long stretch is giving way to the visible manifestation of what was always being worked in the unseen territory of your life. Hold on just a little longer, not because the waiting is the virtue, but because what is coming is worth holding on for. And because you have already done the hardest part. You have already walked the long stretch. You have already made it through the seasons when giving up would have been so understandable, so forgivable, so easy. You made it through. And the road ahead of you, my sheltered one, looks nothing like the road behind you. Now consider the specific ways that God tends to signal that the season of provision is arriving. It often begins with a shift in your internal atmosphere before anything changes in your external circumstances. A lifting, a lightening of the weight you have been carrying, a sense of expectation that rises up in you almost against your will because you have been careful not to hope too much. And yet something in you is beginning to hope anyway. A peace that settles over you, even though nothing in your situation has technically improved yet. These are the signs of the turn. These are the early indicators that the road is about to change. Pay attention to them. Let them be what they are, which is the first fruits of a harvest that is about to arrive. There may also be external signals, unexpected phone calls, conversations that should not have happened, but did. A door that was closed for a long time that quietly, without fanfare, begins to open. A meeting that seemed coincidental, but was clearly orchestrated. A solution to something that felt unsolvable, that arrives through a channel you never would have predicted. These are the fingerprints of God on the practical circumstances of your life. He works through the ordinary. He works through people and conversations and coincidences and timing. And when He is moving toward you with provision, the ordinary begins to carry an extraordinary quality. A sense that the specific thing that just happened was not random, was not accidental, was not a coincidence at all, but was placed in your path by someone who knew exactly what you needed and knew exactly how to deliver it. Watch for these things. Cultivate the kind of attentiveness to your life that lets you notice when God is working in it. Gratitude is one of the most powerful ways to cultivate this attentiveness. A grateful heart sees what an ungrateful heart misses. A heart that is in the habit of noticing what God has done is positioned to notice what He is currently doing. So practice gratitude, not as a performance of positivity, not as a way of pretending that difficulties do not exist, but as a genuine recognition of every evidence of God's hand in your life, small evidences and large ones. The moment of unexpected peace in the middle of a hard conversation, the provision that arrived through a channel you did not plan, the relationship that has been slowly healing, the strength that was there when you needed it, even though you felt so depleted. All of it. Notice all of it. Name it. Give thanks for it. And let the practice of noticing and thanking build in you a growing awareness of just how much God is doing in your life every single day, because He is doing so much more than you are currently seeing. What is visible to you is only the surface of what is happening underneath your awareness, in the unseen territory of the spiritual dimension of your life. More is at work than you could catalog, even if you were trying. The intercession that is rising on your behalf, the preparation of circumstances that have not yet arrived on your visible horizon, the positioning of people who will play important roles in the next chapter of your story, the softening of hearts that were hard toward you, the clearing of obstacles that would have blocked paths you need to walk. It is all happening right now on your behalf because you are loved specifically and personally and completely by the one who is orchestrating all of it. Rest in that. Let it be a weight off of you, not a pressure on you. You do not have to manage all of this. You do not have to figure out the strategy. You do not have to know the plan in advance, or map out the path, or arrange the pieces. Your responsibility is to walk faithfully in the next step that is in front of you, to stay close to the one who loves you, to keep your hands open and your heart ready, and to trust the process that is unfolding. Everything else belongs to him, and he is handling everything else with perfect wisdom and perfect love. Open your hands to what is being poured out right now, this moment right here as you are receiving these words. Something is shifting in the atmosphere around your life. The blessing that was already in motion is accelerating. The provision that was already prepared is drawing closer. The restoration that was already underway is reaching new stages. You are not waiting for something to start. You are receiving the continuation of something that has been in motion for longer than you have known. Every need that has been pressing on you, the provision is being addressed. The financial pressure that has made it hard to breathe, the source of supply is moving toward it. The physical tiredness that has accumulated, the renewal is coming. The emotional weight of caring for people you cannot fix, the transfer of that weight is happening. The relational strain, the healing is in progress. The uncertainty about the future, the clarity is on its way. God is not fixing one part of your life while ignoring the others. He attends to the whole life of those he loves. Every pasture, every path, every part of the landscape belongs to him, and he is attending to all of it. You do not have to prioritize which part of your life he should focus on first. He already knows the order. He already knows what needs to come first and what will follow. And he is handling it all with the perfect wisdom of someone who can see the whole picture at once. The provision that flows over you now carries something extra in it. It carries joy, not just the meeting of practical needs, but an infusion of genuine joy that has nothing to do with how perfectly your circumstances have aligned. This joy is a gift being placed inside you, and it will sustain you even in the moments when the journey is still demanding. You will carry joy in your chest like a lit lantern, and it will give you light to see the path and warmth to share with the people walking alongside you. The blessing being released over you is also carrying peace, a deep, settled, unshakable peace that stands firm even when the winds pick up again, because they will pick up again. That is not a threat. That is honesty about the nature of life. There will be more difficult stretches of road. There will be more moments of uncertainty. But you will walk through them differently now because you will carry inside you a piece of someone who knows who is beside them, who knows that even in the dark valley, the presence that covers them is right there, with everything needed for safety and for forward movement. You are known, you are named, and nothing, no force and no circumstance, and no failure and no enemy can separate you from the love that has been covering you all this time. The journey ahead is full of beauty you have not seen yet. There are green places waiting for you. There are still waters where you will drink deeply and be nourished. There are moments of such unexpected goodness that you will stop and just receive them with open hands and an open heart, marveling at how carefully each one was planned. There are reunions with people you thought were gone from your life, restorations of things that felt irreparably broken, arrivals of things you had almost given up hoping for. All of this is on the road ahead. The path has been walked before you to make it ready, and now the one who walked it is walking with you on it, step by step, day by day, season by season, all the way home. What it means to have someone walk with you on the road of your life is a gift that most people do not fully appreciate until they are in a season when they acutely feel the difference between walking alone and walking accompanied. When you are walking with someone who loves you, the road itself does not change. The same terrain is there, the same hills and valleys, the same stretches of exposed road where the wind picks up, the same narrow places where you have to watch your footing. But the experience of walking that terrain is utterly different when you are not walking it alone. Every hard part is something you share rather than something you carry solo. Every beautiful view is something you point to and say, "Do you see that?" And have someone say, "Yes, I see it too." Every moment of uncertainty has another presence beside it, a voice that says, "Keep going," a hand that steadies when the footing gets tricky. God walks with you on your road, not as a distant companion who is there in theory, but not really present in experience, as an actual, close, attentive presence that is responsive to what you are going through in real time. When you stumble, He is there. When you stop because the path looks unclear, He is there. When you arrive at a stretch of road that takes your breath away with its unexpected beauty, He is there for that too, and He is glad to share the moment with you. This is a relationship. It is not a transaction or a system or a program. It is a relationship with all the warmth and responsiveness and genuine care that relationships carry. Lean into this relationship. Let it be what it actually is, rather than keeping it at the formal distance that sometimes feels safer. God does not want your formality. He wants your honesty. He wants the unfiltered conversation, the real feelings, the questions you are afraid sound too bold, the requests that feel too large, the gratitude that is too simple to bother expressing, the confusion that feels too faithless to admit out loud. Every part of your interior life is welcome in this relationship. There is no version of you that is too messy to bring to the one who walks with you. The intimacy of this companionship is itself a form of provision. Loneliness is one of the deepest hungers of the human heart, and it does not necessarily respond to the presence of other people. You can be surrounded by a crowd and feel profoundly alone if the people in the crowd do not know you, do not see you, do not really understand what is happening inside you. What God offers is not just presence. It is knowing presence. It is the company of someone who knows you completely, who has always known you, who knew you before you knew yourself, and who is not put off by any part of what He knows. That kind of company addresses the deepest form of loneliness at the deepest level. And it is what you have right now in the one who is walking with you. Let that knowing be a comfort to you. Let it reach the part of you that has felt most unseen, most unknown, most isolated in the specific nature of what you carry. The things you cannot explain to other people, the aspects of your situation that are too complex or too personal or too tender to share. God knows them all, and He is not only aware of them, He is actively tending to them, moving toward each one with care and precision and the specific kind of attention that comes from perfect understanding. You are not alone in any of it, not in any corner of your experience, not in any complexity of your situation, not in any depth of your need. There is also the matter of the people God places on the road with you, the human companions of your journey. He does not intend for you to walk alone in the human sense either. Part of what is coming in this next season is the deepening and the widening of your relational world. The arrival of new companions who are aligned with where you are going, the strengthening of connections that have endured and proven their quality, the healing of bonds that were strained or broken. God is tending the relational landscape of your life as carefully as He tends every other dimension of it. The people who will walk with you in the next chapter are being prepared. Some of them are already in your life and are about to step into new levels of closeness and significance. Others are coming towards you on the road, people you have not met yet but who are moving in the direction of your life, who will arrive at exactly the right moment. Be open to both. Be open to the deepening of what already exists and to the arrival of what is new. Do not be so attached to the relational landscape that is familiar that you miss the new companions who are coming. And do not be so focused on what is new and approaching that you neglect to invest in and appreciate the relationships that have been faithful through the hard seasons. Both deserve your attention. Both are part of the rich relational tapestry that God is weaving around your life. Your future is genuinely bright, not in the shallow sense of that phrase, not the forced optimism that dismisses real difficulty. Bright in the deep sense, full of genuine light, the kind of light that comes from walking in alignment with who you were made to be and where you were made to go. The kind of light that comes from living a life shaped by love and purpose and genuine connection. The kind of light that comes from being in relationship with the one who is himself the source of all light. That brightness is what is ahead of you. Walk toward it. Walk into it. Let it fill you until you carry it wherever you go. Keep going. Keep trusting. Keep bringing your questions and your fears and your praises, because all of it is wanted. A community of people who have walked this road, who have kept trust through the hard stretches, who have arrived at the place of visible provision and looked back over the long journey and said it was worth it. Every single moment of it was worth it. They are witnesses to what faithful walking leads to. Their stories confirm what the one who loves you has been saying to you all along. And your story is joining that long line of testimonies, adding its unique voice to the chorus of those who found that trust was not misplaced, that the faithfulness of God is real, that the road leads somewhere genuinely good. You have more strength than you know, more capacity than you realize, more depth than you have had the opportunity to fully discover. Yet these qualities have been forming in you through everything you have walked through, and they are about to be expressed in ways that will amaze even you. The person who is emerging from this season is someone with roots that go deep and arms that can hold more. Someone with a peace that does not need perfect circumstances in order to be real. Someone with a faith that has been tested and has not collapsed. Someone with a compassion that has been forged by suffering and now burns clean and warm. That person is you. That person has been becoming you through every moment of this journey, and that person is exactly who is needed for what comes next. Carry the awareness of who you have become, not with pride that puffs up, but with the quiet confidence of someone who has walked a hard road and found that God was faithful in it, and who therefore faces the road ahead with a quality of trust that only experience can produce. You have earned that trust, not through perfect performance, but through faithful endurance, through choosing again and again to keep going when stopping would have been understandable. That earned trust is one of the most valuable things you carry. It will sustain you, and it will be a light to others who are still in the early parts of their hard stretches, who need to see from someone who has been there that the road does open up, that the provision does come, that the faithfulness of God does show itself in tangible, undeniable ways. Go forward now with expectation fully alive in your heart. Expectation not of perfection, but of genuine goodness. The kind that only comes from a loving Father who knows exactly what his children need and delights in providing it. Expectation that is grounded not in wishful thinking, but in what you have seen and experienced and walked through and survived. Your expectation has evidence behind it. It is not naive. It is built on a track record that is real and long and full of moments where God showed up in ways that mattered. Let that evidence-based expectation rise in you now and carry you into the next chapter with an energy and a confidence that does not belong to someone still uncertain about the outcome, but to someone who has spent enough time on this road to know who is at the end of it, and to know that the end of it is good. There is also something worth saying about the pace of your journey. Not everyone moves at the same speed, and comparison with the apparent pace of others around you has caused unnecessary discouragement in too many lives. Your road has its own timing. The bends and the stretches and the resting places are arranged not according to some generic template, but according to the specific shape of your life, your calling, your particular formation needs, and the particular things that are being built in and through you. Someone who appears to be moving faster is not necessarily further along in the things that matter most, and someone who appears to be behind is not necessarily missing something crucial. Trust the pace of your road. Trust that the one who set it knows what he is doing. Walk at the pace you have been given, neither rushing past the things that need to be received along the way, nor dragging back from the forward momentum that is yours to carry. Go forward, knowing that the one who loves you has gone ahead of you, and is right beside you, and will never leave you. Go forward with your hands open, and your heart ready to receive what has been prepared, what is in motion, what is coming with your name on it. Go forward as someone who is deeply known, deeply loved, and deeply provided for in ways that have already begun to arrive, and that will continue to unfold in beauty over everything that is yet to come. The messy conversations as much as the beautiful ones, the uncertainty as much as the confidence. The one who loves you wants to be present in every part of your life, not just the polished parts that feel comfortable to show. As you walk forward today, take with you a settled knowing in your chest that you are not alone on this road. You have never been alone. You will not begin to be alone now. The provision you need is coming. The restoration is in progress. The blessing has been decided, and it is on its way. And the one who loves you and knows you and guides you is right beside you for every single step of what comes next. Step forward with your hands open and your heart ready. There is space between you and every curve of the road, and every valley and every peak, every moment of silence and every moment of sudden surprise where the presence of God will be. He will never leave you. He will never stop watching over you. He will never stop providing for you. Consider for a moment what it means to be truly provided for, not just in the practical sense, though the practical provision is real and coming. To be truly provided for means that every dimension of your need is being attended to by someone with the resources, the wisdom, and the love to address it completely. You are provided for in the practical sense, yes, but you are also provided for in the sense of being given purpose, being given direction, being given a sense of why you are here and what your life is building toward. You are provided for in the sense of being given community, the people who walk with you and strengthen you and receive what you have to give. You are provided for in the sense of being given meaning, the deep and enduring sense that your life matters, that what you do and how you love and what you carry into the world makes a genuine difference. This complete provision is what distinguishes walking with God from merely hoping for good things to happen. When you walk with God, the provision is not just external, it is comprehensive. It addresses the inside of your life as thoroughly as the outside. The questions of meaning are answered. The hunger for purpose is fed. The need for genuine connection is met in the relationship itself, in the knowing and the being known that comes from walking with the one who created you for exactly this kind of companionship. So as you move into the next chapter of your journey, carry this comprehensive understanding of what provision means. Carry it as a lens through which you interpret your circumstances and your experiences. A lens that allows you to see abundance where others see scarcity, to see care where others see indifference, to see purpose where others see randomness. This lens is one of the gifts of walking with God, and it transforms the entire experience of being alive. What looked like ordinary becomes luminous. What seemed accidental becomes intentional. What felt forgotten becomes the very thing being most carefully attended to. Look for it in its many forms. Celebrate it in the practical breakthroughs, in the financial relief, in the physical renewal, in the relational restoration, but also celebrate it in the inner gifts, in the growing sense of peace and purpose and direction, in the deepening of your ability to live from a place of settled trust rather than anxious striving. All of it is provision. All of it is the hand of the one who loves you, reaching into every corner of your life to make sure that nothing lacks what it needs. Your blessing is already on its way. Your provision has already been prepared. Your path has already been cleared. And one more thing before we close this conversation, because it matters deeply and needs to be said with care. There will be moments in the days ahead when the familiar doubts try to return, when a difficult circumstance rises up and the old voice says, "See, nothing has really changed. See, you were foolish to hope." Those moments will come, and in those moments, you will have a choice about what you anchor to. You can anchor to the temporary difficulty and let it pull you back into the place of fear and contraction. Or you can anchor to what you know, to the history of faithfulness that is behind you, to the truth of what you have heard in this season, to the reality of who walks with you on this road, and what he has declared over your life. Anchor to the truth. In the moments when circumstances try to contradict what you have come to know, hold steady. Not with gritted teeth and white knuckles, not with the strained effort of someone trying very hard to believe something they are not sure of, but with the calm, quiet, rooted holding of someone who has walked far enough with God to know that his word is more reliable than any temporary circumstance that contradicts it. The circumstances are subject to change. What God has said about your life is not. This is the anchor that holds. This is what keeps you from being tossed around by every shift in circumstances. This is what allows you to walk through the next difficult stretch without losing the ground you have gained. Hold to it, and let the holding become easier over time, as the testimony of God's faithfulness in your life grows longer and more undeniable with each passing season. And do not underestimate the power of speaking the truth out loud. There is something significant that happens when a person voices what they believe, when they say with their own mouth what they have chosen to anchor to. Speak it in the moments when the doubts come. Say out loud, even to yourself in a quiet room, "I am guided. I am covered. My provision is coming. My path has been prepared. The one who loves me has not forgotten me and will not forget me." These are not empty affirmations. They are the restatement of realities that exist, whether or not you can see them in this moment. Voicing them does not create them. They are already true, but voicing them helps you receive them into the deeper layers of your own understanding, helps you live from them rather than merely believing them theoretically. Let your mouth agree with what is true about your life, and let that agreement shape how you walk forward from this day onward. Walk forward. Walk knowing that your steps are ordered by someone who can see the whole road from the beginning to the end, and who has arranged everything along the way with careful, loving, perfect intentionality. Walk without the weight of wondering if you are on the right road. You are. Walk without the anxiety of wondering whether the provision will be sufficient. It will be. Walk without the fear of wondering whether the love that covers you might one day run out or turn away. It will not. Walk in the full, settled, beautiful freedom of someone who is deeply known, deeply loved, and completely, generously, faithfully provided for by the one who made you and called you and walks with you to the very end. These words were meant for you, but they are also meant to travel. Think right now of one person in your life who needs to hear that provision is coming, that they have not been forgotten, that the path ahead is being guided by someone who loves them. Share this with them today. And if this message has strengthened your faith, subscribe to this channel and turn on your notifications so you never miss the daily word. It might be exactly what you or someone you love needs to carry through the day. This community exists to walk together, to remind each other that we are not alone, and to celebrate every breakthrough as it arrives.
My child, if this message touches your heart, like this video, subscribe to this channel, turn on the bell icon, and comment. Amen.